I'm Sophie from Wholesome Houseplants and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be sharing my Epipremnum and Scindapsus collection with you, so my Pothos collection if you will. I've gathered them all up behind me and I have 17 different species to show you. So without further ado, here are my Epipremnum and Scindapsuses. First up we have Epipremnum Amplissimum. So Epipremnum Amplissimum, as you can probably tell by this stupid runner, is a climbing aroid and needs a pole, not a hanging basket, which is how I normally have it. I just took it off the basket to show you. But I will eventually get around to repotting it at some point. But I do love this plant. I think this is Epipremnum Amplissimum green form. It's got really long, beautiful, elongated leaves. As I said, it would prefer a pole. I have propagated these runners though, and they've grown into like actual cuttings. It's quite easy to do. You can even see, look how, see that active node there? If I chop that and put that in water, it's gonna root and I'll get a leaf. So it's very easy to make baby plants out of it, even if it does have a ridiculous runner. Yes, Epipremnum Amplissimum. Next we have Epipremnum Aureum Marble Queen. I adore these plants. I cannot tell you how much I flipping love these plants. Anybody who's like just getting into plants, I always give them a cutting of this. So these two plants have been cut like a trillion times and they're still bushy and growing beautifully. It's still in the original pot that I bought it from, and you can see it was £5.95, so £6 for like a beautiful variegated plant. And what I'm trying to do with this particular one is trail it to grow up. So I've taken it off to show you, but it's actually growing up round a door frame at the moment. So that's the main thing that I just love about Pothos, is they're just so easy, they're so beautiful, so easy to propagate, share with people. You know, they look spectacular, and that's like £6 for an incredible interior design thing. I don't know, I really love these plants and I really recommend the Marble Queen. Next up we have Epipremnum Aureum Manjula. So it does look quite similar to the Marble Queen in terms of the colouring, but the leaf shape is very different in a Manjula against a Marble Queen. You can see, oh, this leaf. Look at that, it's practically circular, like they're really plump and, well, fat and round. Look how beautiful and shiny it comes out when it's new. Oh, gorgeous. So yes, this is Epipremnum Aureum Manjula. This is my Epipremnum Aureum Neon. It's a really beautiful plant, and it's really unique, not just in my Pothos collection, but in my whole, you know, houseplant collection, because, you know, the colour of this is just so vibrant and so striking, and against like a sea of forest greens, this really does stand out. And it's, you know, it's an affordable, cheap plant, and it's just so spectacular, and it really deserves the hype. One thing really amazing about this particular one is that I've noticed some leaves have a little bit of variegation to them, and variegation doesn't necessarily mean white variegation. This is like dark green, do you see that? Dark green splotches, but it's beautiful, full and bushy, and this is normally hanging up there on the window, and it's just a gorgeous, vibrant plant. I love it. Next up we have Epipremnum Aureum Enjoy. This plant, okay, I know I say this about every single plant, but I adore this plant, and I think mine is particularly spectacular compared to a lot of Enjoys that I've seen, just because from like the sheer size of it, of the trails and the bushiness, it's just beautiful, and I really love this plant. I think what makes an Enjoy so special to me is that this, I mean, if you think about it, there is so much white on these leaves, like really white leaves with, well, white patches with very little chlorophyll, and yet, okay, there's one tiny bit here, see that there? Like only one tiny leaf is browning, the rest is just beautiful. And I think what other, you know, white variegated plants do you have that, you know, never get any sort of browning and like just thrive in neglect really, in any position you put them in, they're happy. So this is a really special plant to me. I absolutely love it. Okay, so now we're out of the Epipremnum aureums and we're on to Epipremnum pinnatum. So this is the original Epipremnum pinnatum, the green form. Again, this is a climbing aroid, but I haven't given it a poll yet. I actually had two smaller plants and then I repot them into one bigger one. I think you can actually see that on my channel. If you go back a couple of months, there's a video where I compare in more detail Epipremnum pinnatum Cebu blue versus green form, and you can see the size of the plant there and how much it's grown really just in a few months. So this is a really dark, luscious green plant that as it matures, it will develop fenestrations. I have one leaf still with a fenestration. It's beautiful. I love how it looks with and without them. It's a really beautiful colour green. I know I have like every shade of green possible, but I really love this one. Here we have my absolutely magnificent Epipremnum pinnatum Cebu blues. I'm going to show you both because I think they're quite different even though they're the same plant. This is my first Cebu blue that I ever got. Again, you can see it in that video a few months ago. It doesn't look like it's grown much, but it's grown loads. But I've taken loads of cuttings this summer as well. But what's been really nice about this is that when I kept cutting the tops off, I found that it sort of bushed out a little bit throughout, you know, the lower parts of this totem as well. So it actually worked out quite well doing all my choppings. I'm going to leave it alone now, she says. I do have a couple of cuttings of this that I can show you. For example, this is a top cutting from that. I don't know if you can see the roots maybe, but this is a little cutting that's going really well. I should say actually, with every single one of my Epipremnums, I propagate in water and then I'll transition to either moss or perlite or straight to soil. But I get the roots going in water. So yes, this is, how gorgeous is this Cebu blue? Little cutting. This is my more recent acquisition. This is sort of a trailing Epipremnum pinnatum Cebu blue. So the colour of it, it looks much paler to me. So I love that already, how different these two plants look. And I really enjoy how this trails and the leaves are smaller than my climbing one. And again, I've got lots of propagations of this as well. So for example, this is a propagation from the smaller plant, another propagation from the smaller plant. This one, oh, this is cool. See that? It's only been in water about 4 days and I've nearly rooted it. So they do really fantastically in water as well. I think Epipremnum pinnatum Cebu blues are my ultimate pothos and I adore them. Next up we have Epipremnum pinnatum Variegata. I mean, how spectacular are these? Do you see that? So this is actually two separate cuttings. Fortunately, both have grown a new leaf already so far, but I would say that this has been the hardest plant for me. I don't know what happened, but both of these cuttings of the original leaf did come with some roots, but they both just rotted off within days, and they were from two different people. So I was able to, you know, obviously cut off the roots, reroot them and save them. So now they're just chilling in perlite and a bit of bark so that I can keep a better eye on them. But you can see the roots going down and yeah, they're looking really healthy and really good. I actually keep this in my greenhouse. The main reason for that is to give this as best chance as possible because I was so worried about it. You know, it's quite an expensive plant and I was really worried about it when it lost all of its roots. And I find that this leaf particularly was curling at room humidity and it seemed to fare much better in a more humid environment. So I just listened to the curling leaves and gave it more humidity. But yes, it's beautiful and I love this plant so much. and I can't wait for it to grow a bit more. Next up we have Epipremnum Shangri. This is a really unusual looking variety. I'm going to bring it up close, see if you can see how wrinkly it is. Do you see that? I think it looks like wilted spinach, and I love that. And I think it's, you know, really unique. I love the texture of it. I love the shadows it makes. It's a really gorgeous plant. I see it every day. It hangs in the hallway, and I really, really like this one. Next we have my Epipremnum Skeleton Keys. They neither look like skeleton keys because they are very juvenile forms, and I just bought 2 small cuttings and I'm hoping to, you know, grow them myself. Both of them have a tiny little shoot, can you see, coming out of a new leaf, which is really exciting. It's still a beautiful leaf, but it's not its final mature shape. It literally looks like a key, and it's really fantastically unique in terms of leaf shape. And yeah, I can't wait to grow these. So now we're on to the Scindapsus species. This is Scindapsus Pictus Argyraeus. They're both the same plant. This one just has larger leaves than this one. The common term for this is a satin pothos, and the leaves are beautiful. They're quite a dark green with sort of flecked silver equally throughout, if you will. This one could do the water. You can see the leaves are curling in, but it's the same, it's just at the smaller scale. So we know it's a satin pothos because we've got the main velvet green and splashes of silver. I can compare it to my other one so you can see how to identify yours, but this is a, Scindapsus Pictus Argyraeus, and I love it. This is the Scindapsus Pictus Exotica. These tend to have much larger leaves. Like, look at the size of that. Do you see that one? Really beautiful and fat and silvery and gorgeous, and I think this makes such a beautiful statement plant, and again, so easy to look after. Next up we have Scindapsus Pictus Silvery, and these leaves are truly the most silver and iridescent out of all of them. Look at that leaf. Do you see that? So shiny and beautiful. So the silver splashes on a Silvery Ann are firstly more vibrant, let's see, like that, and cover more surface area of the leaf, but they are also less structured and they're more random, and that's how you can tell if it's a Silvery Ann. Look at that leaf. Beautiful. This one I'm actually currently training to grow along the wall in my living room with clips. It's very cool. Next up we have the beautiful and quite unusual Scindapsus Pictus Silver Lady. I don't know why, you know, you couldn't have a better name. We've got Silvery Ann and now we've got Silver Lady. Should have done something a little bit different, but hey ho. This plant is really beautifully silver, but I think what's special about the Silver Lady is the leaf shape is really slender and really elegant compared to so many of the other pothos varieties which have quite, you know, rounded leaves. These are really quite slim and elongated. Earlier this year I sold probably about half of this plant and I kind of regret it. I love this plant and I can't wait for it to get growing again and give me some more leaves so I can have a bushier one. Next up we have a very unique one, which is Scindapsus species Sumatra. So this plant comes from Indonesia. I'm going to start with this one. This is very disappointing because it came with a different leaf. It started growing really well and I got this leaf, and then the roots have rotted in moss. So I've taken them out and I've moved it to perlite. So I'm hoping that I can regrow this root. Still a healthy looking leaf, but I basically just need to propagate this. But this is what a Sumatra looks like. It's almost like silver brush strokes. Very cool and very unique. I've only ever seen this for sale in one place, which is Plant Collector. It's a shop in the UK. They also sell stuff on eBay. And then I also bought this from eBay as well recently. This is the same Scindapsus species Sumatra, but obviously it's got quite a lot of yellowing on the leaves. I'm not sure if this is pest damage or something, or whether it's, you know, under or over watering, but it's hard to tell, but you can still see those faint silver lines. So I am now really glad that I bought this one, even though it was a bit of a gamble because it looked a bit dodge, because my other one's not looking so good. But hopefully I can get this growing and get some new leaves without the yellow and see how we get on. But yes, this is a very unique Scindapsus species Sumatra. Next up we have Scindapsus Treubii. This is also called the Moonlight Pothos, and you can see why, because it's just so beautifully silver. I think this leaf particularly is just so spectacular. It's a gorgeous pothos, and I keep it in quite low light, and it seems really happy. And then, surprise, the other day, I couldn't say no. I needed it. This is my gorgeous, massive Scindapsus Treubii Moonlight. It's incredible. It's huge. I saw it on a shop and it was listed as a philodendron and it was quite cheap, and I saw the picture and I was like, that's not a philodendron, that is a Moonlight Pothos, and it's massive, so I'm gonna buy it. And I did. And I'm so happy with this purchase, and I think it looks incredible and I love it. Now the last plant I have to show you is a plant that was top of my wish list for ages, and I just got it this week. It was an unrooted cutting of Scindapsus Treubii dark form. So this is the dark form Moonlight Pothos. Again, I trust myself most in water. We can already see it's got loads of, you know, little growth in a matter of days, but it's such a gorgeous plant, so dark and velvety and almost black, and so unique in colour. It's got a bit of fluff on it and moss, but wait, let me just wipe that off. There you go, you can see it better now. It's gorgeous, and I'm so happy with this, and I cannot wait to have a, you know, a secure root so I know it's going to be okay, and, you know, grow this into a plant because it's beautiful. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed seeing my collection. Please let me know down below what your favourite was. Tell me which different ones you have in your collection, and maybe I shall try and expand my collection. Please give this a like if you've enjoyed it, share with your friends, and please do subscribe, and hopefully I'll see you next time.